This next boss is the second half of the 13th entry, that being Dragonslayer Ornstein, who is the complementary and also the second person that you fight in a 2v1 boss fight. Now, Dragonslayer Ornstein is very different from Smough in the way they fight, is also in the aspects of their design. Ornstein is seen depicted wearing golden armor adorned with lion motifs, as well as a red plume as an accent color to his gold. And gold is often seen as a divine and holy color, which is very fitting given the themes and the lore behind Ornstein himself as a dragon slayer, as well as the captain of the Four Knights of Gwyn. Ornstein's weapon of choice is the golden spear that has lightning properties, which is naturally fitting both the title and what he did, as dragon slaying is knighthood's highest calling, and lightning was the weakness and the only weakness that was believed to be found from dragons, which was a major influence on the new age that came about after the Age of the Ancients. When it comes to the actual fight Ornstein and Smough, there's two different outcomes depending on who you take out first. If you end up taking out Ornstein first, Smough becomes a lot easier, and Ornstein is more difficult in the first part of it given that he is much faster and will catch you by surprise. If you manage to take out Smough during the first part and deal with Ornstein in the second phase, it is a bit easier, but still very deadly if you are not being careful. You can get punished through his lightning attacks and also be kebabbed if you're not being careful about where you're moving. And these frames can also catch you by surprise even whenever it's clear that you were out of the vicinity of being able to get kebabbed. Much like Smough, Ornstein's going to have different outcomes depending on who you end up taking out first as well as who you end up taking out last, and there's going to be different approaches that are regarded with them, as well as different rewards that are also given to you depending on the order that they are taken out in. When it comes to the tier list, Dragonslayer Ornstein and Executioner Smough naturally get an excellent placement. These characters are iconic and also very important in regards to the lore and history in Lordran. They are the last keepers of a faith that is no longer prevalent as the Age of Fire slowly dying out. These characters also have different approaches and how you deal with them depending on who you take out first and second. This has an influence on the reward that you get in the end, but more importantly, you end up getting the Lord Vessel regardless of who you take out last, and that is also being officially halfway done with the first part of the game. It's a very rewarding boss fight, especially after having to go through many trials of having to get through them in the first place, for most people especially. This boss is also much more appreciated after the fact that you get to see some aspect of Guinevere after being given the Lord Vessel by her. If you enjoyed this entry, made it to the end, be sure to like and subscribe in order to be able to see more videos like this.